My work is actually a conglomerate of many different areas. So I mainly earn my money as a performer for contact juggling and stilt walking. For the stilt walking, of course, I make my own costumes, which is another part of my job, for I'm a studied stage and costume designer. So this also includes puppet making and making masks and mainly costumes really for performers. I also studied animation film and specialized there in puppet animation, of course, puppets again. So it's actually, in theory, it's many different things, but they all meet on certain levels and all empower each other. I learned a lot from the burlesque scene about presenting yourself, about how to do storytelling, also quite a lot about how to do your makeup, how to do a proper makeup as a juggling performer. And it's actually a very creative bunch of people who keep inspiring each other by new ideas, and basically also that everybody, or the most of them, are really doing their very own style, which is great. With things like juggling, it's quite often presenting how much you've been practicing, which is fair enough if you practiced enough. But I learned there that it's actually much more interesting for the audience to get a bit more of sense and story in the whole performance itself, and also things like just having a little movement, being in pose, smiling to the audience, and then going back to the next move, for example. So, well, this one is the mask for the peacock fairy, and it's a stilt walking costume for events, for medieval markets, for parties. And I wanted to do a super bling bling, super kitsch creature, which is just kind of well, actually you can't take this character serious. It's a very vain, very much like, oh my god, there's a camera! I'm an alternative model now. So she's really like over the top. It's a little bit of being ironic with some, for example, celebrities in television and things like this. So, but at the same time, she's never aggressive. She's always really charming and a little bit, not exactly stupid, but she's one of these really, really vain little creatures. Usually a peacock, of course, doesn't have something like this on his head. But when I was looking at pictures from peacocks and you were making really a picture straight from it, you saw the head of the peacock, and behind it you could see already the tail, which was actually how I came up with making this part of the tail, which you would usually see on a straight picture, into part of the headdress, so it becomes even bigger and more elaborate on the stage. Most of the figurines really start developing their actual character and their story with the first time I put them on. Then they basically kind of take you over and do their own thing. And sometimes you've got this little part in your head and you sit back and think like, what the hell is this creature doing right now? It's fun, but that's really weird. You really don't want to find out the next morning what your creature did while you gave up all the control. It was close sometimes. And then afterwards, when you think about it and you come out of the character or you see a video, it's sometimes a bit like, okay, maybe that was a bit too much. Good that my mother won't see that. That's actually also one of the most important lessons I learned with performing in general, that when I'm performing, I'm not acting as if. I basically give this character the space to do whatever he wants. I still keep a little bit of control over it. It's really important, as I found out. But yeah, I basically give it space to tell its own story, and usually they have their own story to tell and their own character to express. All my characters, I'm on a good level. So they always get 49%, I get 51%. This is one of the new series. They're hand-modeled, of course. I have the structure of trees, also the roots of the trees. And here I use different materials after I've been spending the last year with experimenting with different kind of styles and materials, and tried to mix techniques which were not supposed to be mixed, but I did it anyway. So some of them succeeded, some of them didn't. The little butterfly with the doll's head doll's body is a repeating theme. So it's basically really, well, it's based on a dream and a feeling from this dream, and so actually the story starts to tell itself.